It's all lost. It's all lost. I am so sorry. I don't know what I thought. At first, the Frostgrots were curious. They started crawling toward me, and then there were flashes, sparks. They wanted to kill me. I didn't want to. I had to defend myself. It's all gone. Everything is gone. If there is no world where beautiful things don't end in violence, then what's the point? But so be it. If this is what everything comes down to, then I'll die fighting. Draw your blade!
I'm glad to fight by your side once more.
Not another step. You. Who are you? And why do you think you belong here? Not here, you don't. Ulfraland ain't for outsiders. Not unless the voice of the tribe says otherwise. Trust me, I wouldn't let you in if you were King Arthur himself. Especially not him. He'd have a sword up his ass before he took a step past this gate. Seal looks real enough. Fine. Go on in. But don't cause trouble. We don't take kindly to outsiders sticking their noses where they shouldn't.
Hey, you! Gerfon sent you, didn't he? To summon us for the moot. Just because we live up in the mountains doesn't mean we don't know what's happening in the wider world. Well, that works out perfectly. My father's been looking for someone for outside the tribes to help him with something. That's all I know. He didn't tell me much, but he sounded really serious. He told me to bring the first person I came across. His name is Strana. Please, go meet him at his forge. You can't miss it.
You've come across the Ulfra at an interesting time, stranger. But be careful. Things are stirring, and you wouldn't want to get caught in the middle. Now, tell me, what are you looking for here? I dinna doubt that, but most people don't have an undead half-giant as their leader. It's all about Tryggve. The chieftain isn't exactly everyone's favorite. Some say that it's a disgrace we ever let someone like him become the leader. That the Ulfra are now in the hands of a madman who barely resembles a man at all. The Stone Wardens are speaking up too, as he forbade one of our oldest traditions. Some folk are bloody furious about it. The truth is, we didn't speak openly about it amongst ourselves. I didn't know if it's shame or helplessness, but ever since Tryggvi became the Giant's chosen, the bonds within the tribe have started to crumble. And I didn't get it either. Strength has always been what mattered most among the Ulfra, and the chieftain has always been the strongest among us. If someone stronger came along, then that one deserved to lead the tribe. That's how we've survived through the ages. Now, Tryggvi is the strongest. I didn't care how he did it. He was clever enough to reach for power no one else had. He found a way. We, the Stone Wardens, can no longer visit our kin bound in the stone sleep. And if you met any Dalriata before, you should already know that honoring our ancestors is damn important. Whether it's the mad folk from Volker or the ones from Tainted, our ancestors are sacred. Always have been. Tryggvi decreed it so. We're no longer allowed to honor anything or anyone other than him. By drawing close to the giants, he claims to have become one of them, and so he expects the same treatment they received. I didn't know. Of course, I have someone resting in the stone sleep. Brynja, my mother. But the chieftain's word stands above all. After all, he holds the authority to challenge traditions. And if he's chosen to do so, there must be a reason behind it. I was born and bred a stone warden. My ancestors carved tunnels, built great halls, and raised Dalriata monuments for generations. Have you seen the capital yet, stranger? That's where they worked. Stone by stone, cut, smoothed, or shattered to dust. That's how history is made. Shame it's so quiet there these days. I wonder if that old dog Gerf's still sitting around, counting on some grand reconciliation with the other tribes. Stone sleep took her early and fast. Some wait until their bones are brittle. Oh, but she was young, sharp of mind, still stronger than most. I was still a pup when she went away to find her place. I'd give much to visit her again, just to sit near her stone for a while. But I remember her well enough to guess what she'd say. She wouldn't want me to disobey the chieftain. So, I stay here, and I remember in silence. For now, that has to be enough. What? I think you didn't hear me the first time, stranger. It's forbidden. Tryggvi made it law. No offerings and no quiet songs by the stones. I respect my chief, not like those other whiners. You serious? Didn't expect a stranger to offer help. Well, it's a good day, I guess. Here, I've marked on your map where Brynja rests. It's near the capital. And take this. It's a trinket I forged some time ago. Leave it with her. To slowly slip into the stone sleep is a great honor. Some of the younger Ulfrites question that tradition now. But to me, It only shows how far we've drifted from the values that once made us strong. The young Dalriata pups don't remember the living capital. They don't feel the weight of what was carved. And they've never forged the kinds of friendship that saved lives deep in the tunnels carved into the mountains. They'll never understand what it means to rest beside those you've endured so much with. That's why the stone sleep is so dearly longed for. Because it's not just an end. It's a return to your kin. I hope that if the old ways are broken, someone will always be ready to pick up the pieces. But it is the custom of the Dalriata that a chieftain may be overthrown only through an honorable duel, even if the one you're facing did not gain his strength by rightful means. Truth be told, I doubt anyone could defeat him. If you see a stone warden in the stone sleep, give them my regards.
A stranger among the Ulfir. Good. Aye, and hopefully one with some common sense. That's something this tribe has been sorely lacking of late. The Ulfrites were known for keeping their feet on the ground, and that's what I liked about them. But now even they've fallen to the madness of the giants. I come from a tribe that would rather drift through life half asleep, all because some giant woman made them vague promises. They stumble around denying reality while the world rots, thinking themselves saviors of all the Dalriata. I've never believed in empty words or blind devotion. Neither did the Ulfrites. Well, that used to be true. Giants used to live in the Forlorn Swords, just as we do. They were powerful beings, but not gods. If they were, they wouldn't be forced to sleep with a word of one man. And yet so many of us treat them as such. Thrygve became but a shadow of one. But even that was enough. Aye. I see we are of the same mind. A god stops being a god when it becomes something that can be easily comprehended. When I left the Toyd, I wandered the Forlorn Swords searching for knowledge about the giant's power. Then, I got tied up with the Ulfir. And I suppose I'll be staying here, my work unfinished. Perhaps you could. The last secrets I sought lie with the dead. The Gunvalder and the Oirata. Two tribes, long gone. I may not be superstitious, but I wouldn't dare stir their rest. You, on the other hand, if you could bring me the records about their giants, I would be grateful, and I would share what I have learned. Then I suppose fate put me on your path. Thank you, outsider. I will await your return. I am a stone warden, of course. Our guild has always been respected, even among my own tribe. The stone wardens are keepers of knowledge, though it turned out it wasn't exactly the knowledge I sought. I was meant to move on, continue my search, but life had other plans. I found someone to share my heart with, for one, and for a while I let myself enjoy life. For a stone warden, the forge comes first. But there's nothing like sharing it with someone of the same mind. Then the Gunvaldir massacre happened, and everything was turned on its head. I couldn't take up wandering again. Couldn't face their ghosts, so I stayed here, with my craft, and my love, keeping me together. It wasn't, no, though the Stone Warden's halls tend to be more peaceful than the rest of the Forlorn Swords, at least when it comes to tribal strife. Debates on the craft, though, they can get very heated, especially when someone decides to argue it in a lit forge. I don't. I hated the mother for muddling the thoughts of my kin, for seeping poison into their ears, and I'm not fond of Thrygve. But what he became wasn't the fault of the giant whose power he stole. It was his own. Still, we live in their shadow, and I've always felt powerless beneath it. Maybe it's fear. But I've already lost so much to that weakness, and I have too much to lose still. Go safe.
I wish the war had already started, so it would end sooner. I don't know what to do with myself in the meantime. I wish the war had...
Oi, don't I know you from somewhere? Aye, that's it. I knew you looked familiar. It's good to see a fellow survivor from that cursed hole. Tell me, friend, how did you manage it? That hooded fellow helped you, didn't he? I need to know everything. If you've got the guts to dislike the man who saved your life, he must have really done something to rub you the wrong way. You know, among the Dalriada, when someone saves your life, you owe them a debt until you can repay it. Usually by saving theirs. But now that I think about it, you don't have to like them. Respect is enough. So tell me, what's happening in the wider world? Sounds about right. That's why I wanted to get back to my own people. Why should I risk my neck for outsiders? They've always treated us Dalriada like we're some necessary evil. Sure, they're nice enough when you're useful, but once it's over, they look at you like you're a stray dog. Nay thanks. Dalriada will always be Dalriada, even if they're not my own tribe. Who knows? I wasn't here when Camelot attacked my tribe. I was already rotting in the asylum. If I had been, they wouldn't have pushed us back to the keep, or maybe I'd have died an honourable death. I only know this. Thrigve forbade it, and the Ulfrats obey him like hounds chasing their master, even now in his current form. Not my chieftain, not my problem. We Gunvalder worshipped our own giant. Wasn't exactly lively when I left the village, but now it's glowing. No one knows why. The Thoid called it a blessing. Told all the Dalriada they should rejoice. But if you ask me, they got scared. Maybe that's why no other tribe helped. Not Ulfr, not Volker, nor even Thoid, who told us to be happy about our giant. Good. It's about time. These tribes have had their heads so far up their own arses, acting like their problems are the only ones that matter. Well, who doesn't have problems, eh? Back in Arthur's time, we stood as one. Now, we're so damn stubborn we can't see past our own noses. It's bloody senseless. Figures. Say what you will about Camelot, but they've got strength. Armies, machines, the works. Even united, they'd have been a hell of a foe. What was One Eye supposed to do with his ragtag bunch? Steal supplies? Chop down some trees? No, it was doomed from the start. If we'd all stood together, maybe. But he went ahead alone, and now it's over. Simple as that.
No. You're not a Dalriata. And you're too scrawny. Wouldn't make much of an impression. I was thinking of knocking you flat in a fight, so Concha would see it and say, "Bloody hell, that Thyka's strong. I'd love to wrestle her." But with you, it just wouldn't work. No. This needs someone with a bit more meat on their bones. But thanks for the offer. Just look at him. Those shoulders, like he could tear limbs off. Those massive fists, must have crushed dozens of skulls. And the scars, look how long and thick they are. He's taken so many blows and he's still walking, breathing, like nothing ever happened. What does that matter when he's as strong as an Ulfr? Sure, there are things he still needs to learn about us, but I'd help him with that. How else could it be? What do your people do when they want to, you know? And the women? don't fight. They just sit and watch. Mata, I'd die of boredom. Handkerchiefs? Like he's got a cold? How the hell does a handkerchief show him I can fight? Well, I could give him a good wallop. I'm no good at talking. I'll forget what I wanted to say. And he'd think I'm thick. He probably already thinks that, with me just sitting here, staring at him. Look at me. Can you picture me writing romantic letters? Yeah, me neither. Our chieftain, what's there to say? He's the strongest, so he leads. Even if the giant hadn't marked him, no one would have matched him. Until next time.
So tell me, what's happening in the wider world?
Egil sent you, did he? I'm Stroner, a blacksmith. What brings you to our village? That kind of order should go straight to Tryggvi, though I doubt he'd be eager to leave his throne. Until a new chieftain is chosen, Tryggvi won't attend the moot. Well, that's good news. You're just the kind of person I've been hoping for, to help with Tryggvi, that is. Tryggvi always dreamed of surpassing mortal strength, of becoming as mighty as the giants. He became obsessed with the lone pillar near our village. The Ulfr might not be known for their writing, but we have our legends. Tryggvi found out the pillar was a place where giants entrusted their souls to the foredwellers, whatever that means. So we had a throne forged into the pillar and sat on it during a weird night. What happened after that changed everything for our tribe. I wouldn't call it madness. Tryggvi stopped being human. He grew to a monstrous size and gained unimaginable strength. He became something other. After that, human concerns no longer mattered to him. Yet he's still Ulfr, bound by our customs and rules. It might not mean much to an outsider, but trust me, it's a very dangerous situation. We tried. The moment we declared a new chieftain, Tryggvi appeared out of nowhere and killed the contender with a single blow. Then, like nothing had happened, he returned to his slumber. After that, the Ulfr began worshipping him like a god. Hard to believe, considering our disdain for magic and religion, isn't it? Yet, here we are. Don't be surprised if you hear them singing his praises or fawning over him like fools. They're terrified of his power, although none of them will admit it. The only way to remove an Ulfr chieftain is through an honourable duel, but there's no honour in fighting something like him. Perhaps my mentor Darvan knows how to defeat him. He won't tell me. He says he's afraid I'd try to face Tryggvi myself. And honestly, he's probably right. If I knew how to bring him down, I'd do it in a heartbeat. But Darvan thinks if our plans were discovered, I wouldn't live to see another day. He's probably right about that too. My brothers have grown unpredictable. Smart choice. He lives in the second largest house in the village. You'll find it easily enough. I'll be here if you need anything else. The Ulfr are a proud people, always the first to charge into battle. For us, an honourable fight is the greatest glory and duty. We are also renowned for our blacksmiths, the finest and the forlorn swords. Our weapons and armour are unmatched all across Avalon. But now we've lost our way. When Gunvaldr called for aid, and Tryggvi forbade us from going, most of us stayed behind. It's the greatest shame of our tribe, and I know many feel the same. I don't know for sure. Tryggvi doesn't speak much these days, not in his current state, but I have a theory it probably had something to do with the awakening giant of the Gunvaldr tribe. Many tribes envied them for it, and Tryggvi has a special connection to the giants. Maybe that played a role in his decision. Yes, definitely. The Ulfr might be stubborn, but we've always valued unity among the Dalrita. Without Tryggvi's influence, there'd be no question, but his shadow looms large. It's hard to see a way forward while he's on that throne. Ah, so you've met some of my brothers already. You wouldn't ask that if you hadn't. Since you know about the Stone Wardens, I'll tell you the truth. Yes, I'm a member. and the Ulfar village is our unofficial capital. Darvan himself resides here, Gerfan's own brother and our leader.
Nah, you're the outsider Vigdis's kid ran into. News like that travels fast around here. We don't talk to many outsiders these days. Well, even back in the day, we usually didn't talk to them all that much. More fighting rather than talking. But if you're here, that means it's for some reason. And that's good enough for me. What do you need? I'm Hrafn, son of Tove and Isid. Like my father, I care about the armor of my tribe folk. I share the forge with Stronner. He makes weapons, I make sure the ones holding them stay alive. If you need something special, you'll find it here. Nothing will protect your hide better than Ulfar's coats. He's more into tribe matters than I'll ever be, but that's his business. As a smith, he knows what he's doing, and he doesn't get in my way. We keep the forge running, and that's what counts. And who would we be talking to exactly? There were only two neighboring tribes. The Gunvalders were slain to the last by Camelot. Not that it matters. They were a strange folk, dwelling in their haunted stronghold. And that leaves only one neighbor, the damned Theuds. They meddle in cursed magic, so no talking about them. Since you asked, I might have a small task for you. I need a few Brimshade hides. There's a project that's been on my mind for a while now, but I've been too busy to go wandering off to hunt them myself. If it works, I'll tell you. Right now, it's just theory. I'd rather not jinx it. But if it does work, let's just say that traveling through the Forlorn Swords at night might become a lot safer. Glad to hear it. I've been someone's apprentice most of my life, so I'm not exactly used to asking others for help. I'll be waiting for you here, and so will a little something for your trouble. What about them? The Volkers and the Sveins are on the far side of the Forlorn Swords. None of ours go that way. The Dalrida went their separate ways long ago. All that's left is some shared past. And trust me, nobody feels like talking about that. You've got that right. As I said before, no talking about those scoundrels. There's strife among the Ulfar. More and more are openly voicing their disagreement with Thrygva's rule. I find it hard to understand. The chieftain's word has always guided us, and Thrygva will remain chieftain until someone proves strong enough to defeat him in a duel. So, the strongest leads. The one blessed by the will of the giants. The one chosen by the Lone Pillar. There's no greater honor. Fear drives them. I believe that, like steel, a person is forged in fire. If we fail the trials ahead, it means we were unworthy of survival. As our chieftain's case has shown, Tradition shouldn't strife us. There are times when it must be seen from a new perspective. Not just anyone can issue a challenge for a duel. First, they must be blessed by another member of the Ulfr. It's proof that they have the support of at least one among us. The rest is a matter of strength. Even our ancestors watch over these duels. It's a sacred tradition. The giants lived in the Forlorn Swords once, but they were betrayed by King Arthur, the Oathbreaker. For centuries they slept until the Ulfr turned to them after Thrygva uncovered the secret of the pillar. He connected with those who once roamed the Forlorn Swords. He is closer to them than any other human has ever been. This land, and the will of the giants, speak through him. That's why he wields such immense power. I guarantee my armor will protect you, even from the treacherous strikes of the Remors.
A stranger among the Ulfr. I don't yet know how to read this omen, but I'll be keeping an eye on you, outsider. Though I'm not sure anything worse than Thrygve could befall us. My name is Erland. I am the seer of the Ulfr tribe, although it seems few among us have any need for a seer. Folk would sooner put their faith in steel than in me. I don't know if I should speak about our fall with a stranger, but for some reason you were allowed among us. So you'll have your answer. Thrygve has taken hold of the power of the giants, something no human should ever wield. To surrender oneself to such forces is inhuman. It's a spit in the face of Mather. Man was not meant to meddle with what lies beyond his fate. Because that's what it is. Not a trial, not a misstep, a fall. When a man trades his soul for strength not meant for him, he drags more than just himself into the abyss. I had a vision of what would await our tribe if nothing changes. We'd all end up as twisted wretches. The first omen has already come. The red eye. I saw it. It was watching me, just beyond our village. Have you ever heard of the Beholders, outsider? They were beings that dwelt deep in the dark beneath the earth. The Four Dwellers made them a promise to lead them out of that darkness. They promised the Beholders they would see the light, so the creatures followed that false light. They trusted the Four Dwellers and were twisted by the weirdness. They put their faith into something beyond their grasp. I believe Thrygve, reaching for the power of the giants, is doing the same, placing his trust in the wrong promise. I saw the red eye of a beholder. If nobody stops them, those abominations will crawl out again and twist us, just as they were once twisted. Because they wouldn't listen. Or they'd say I'm weak, that I've let fear cloud my judgment. Among the Ulfr, doubt is a heavier burden than truth. Is that so? Then perhaps your arrival can bring more than ill tidings. I saw the red eye on the slopes, just beyond the village, while I was foraging in the snow for roots to use in my rites. I think that's where you should begin your search. After they were infected with the weirdness, the Four Dwellers turned them into weapons. I once read some old Del Rida records, accounts of our ancestors being slaughtered by those foul things during the wars with the Four Dwellers. A terrible fate awaits those who've had any dealings with the giants or the Four Dwellers. The Gunvalder believed that their giants started to awaken and were slaughtered by Camelot. The Thoids gave their faith to a giantess, and they stained themselves with vile magic, turning their backs on the old faith in Mather. Yes, it's time for you to go.
I'll be. I'd offer you my hand, stranger, but with the stone sleep taking me away, I reckon that's not the best idea. Still, I'm glad to see a new face before I leave this world behind. Especially someone with such a rare way about them. My name is Noleg. You're the last living soul outside my kin to hear that name. Oh no. I'm just fine with how things are. Well, I am a stone warden, and by our custom, a day comes when a stone warden begins to slip into the stone sleep. We give ourselves to the ore. Stone our forebears carved through for ages, raising halls and strongholds from its heart. We become yet another monument to the forlorn swords. That depends on who you ask. Me, I feel no pain, just peace. I knew what I was signing up for. Every stone warden does. But not all see it the same way. My family passed long ago, so I leave no one behind. But Olaf, he still has his daughter, Fuska. And she's been arguing with Darvan for weeks now, fighting over what should become of her father. It's a deeply personal thing, different for everyone. I've known stone wardens who felt the first signs of the stone sleep at dawn, and by the next dusk, they were already searching for the place they'd turned to stone. And I've known others where it took years. There's no rule to it. I don't count the days anymore, but I can feel it's nearly time for me to choose a place for myself. When the time draws near, one makes the journey to a place where they wish to fall asleep. And finally, when their body can no longer move or feed itself, their kin tend to them, feeding them, offering water, leaving gifts, and keeping vigil as the sleep takes hold. One of the finest stone wardens I've known had a habit of diving headfirst into any hole he spotted underground. Nothing could stop him. Fuska doesn't agree with our tradition. Understandable. She doesn't want to lose her father. But the poor girl doesn't understand that being called to the stone is the highest honor for a stone warden. Darvan is the leader of the stone wardens, and right now, maybe the most important man in the tribe, since Tryggve's no good for anything anymore. You tell me. I don't know what it is exactly, but there's something different about you. They say the stone sleep makes folk more attuned to the rare and unusual things in this world. Seems you carry one of those in you. Let's not talk nonsense, all right? Farewell, traveller. It was good to see a new face in the Ulfer village. Who knows? Maybe I'll still be around to see your coming bear some fruit.
You're in the Hall of Remembrance, in the seat of the Stone Wardens. My name's Ast. I look after this place. Try not to make noise, or touch anything. Yes, it's a hall, where symbols of remembrance for our ancestors are kept. Oh, all sorts. Best if you take a look yourself. You're here, so I probably can't tell you more than you already know. Yes. Very likely. I spend a lot of time near the Weird Stone. That and weird steel, yes. But it takes time. And they turned into stone, yes. They were. As well as master craftsmen. Old Airg, who was the first to describe the properties of weird steel. They're not statues. They're Dilrida, who've entered the stone sleep. The name says it all, really. It's the sleep Dilrida fall into at the end of their lives, when they turn to stone. Various Dilrida who earned honor in the Stone Wardens. I don't know if their names will mean anything to you. Alright. That sculpture is Glimhilder Ironfinger. Ring any bells? She led the Stone Wardens 2 centuries ago. She looked just like that sculpture. Not much to say. Her rule was long and mostly peaceful. I keep things in order, and I guard this place and the memory of the Stone Wardens' history. Yes, though in the Stone Wardens, tribal ties don't matter much. Goodbye.
I wouldn't come any closer if I were you. Because I said so. And here in the official hall of the Stone Wardens, my word is law. Leave in peace. I'm not granting an audience. Ah, your powers of observation are truly impressive. Thrigva, that cursed fool, undead and merged with the Lone Pillar, thinking himself invincible. And perhaps he is, for now. so I guess you want to challenge him to a duel. You cannot defeat him as you are. The Lone Pillar grants him strength beyond mortal flesh. No blade will bite. No armor will hold. Not unless you earn the blessings of the giants. Listen well. To face Drikva and live, you'll need more than just courage. You'll need to forge a weapon. A true marvel. One capable of shattering the Lone Pillar's might. Without it, you're as good as dead. I'll help you forge it. But you'll need to gather the giants' blessings first. They hold all the fragments you'll need. What do I look like? A giant keeper? The giants have no love for the likes of us anymore. Their power does not come cheaply. If Stroner sent you, then go back to his hut. His wife might know something useful. Women tend to keep the wisdom their men ignore. The giants respect bargains, oaths, and stories. Stroner's wife, she knows the old ways of dealing with them. Stroner keeps her close. Protective, I'd say. Or maybe ashamed. If we're being honest, the Ulfar tribesfolk say she's mad. Perhaps even a liar. Claiming she speaks to giants? You can imagine how that goes over. But mad or not, she knows things the rest of us don't. Don't judge her by their words. Go to her and listen. You might find her madness holds more truth than most men's sanity. Conspire. Ha! Call it what you like. Plotting, scheming, or just doing what needs to be done. Thrygva's not a man anymore. He's a curse on the Ulfar. And curses don't just go away on their own. Stroner and I understand that. If you're wise, you'll understand it too. Someone has to stop him. And it sure as hell won't happen by sitting around. If it were up to me, I'd vote against it. The moot waste time dreaming of invading Camelot, while the Dorita crumble from within. We've got greater problems to solve. Fractured tribes, lost traditions, and a dwindling future. Fixing that should come first. Off you go. And thank you for aiding the Ulfar tribe.
It's been quiet without you.
Speak quickly. I don't like wasting time. Ah, these are fine. Just what I needed. Here, take this for the trouble. Now that I think of it, I'll need some Frostgrot mucus too, just in case. Might be useful, might not. Either way, it's valuable stuff to keep on hand. I'm not surprised. They only live in the Forlorn Swords, in quiet, dark places. Caves, mostly. The Daurida believe they carry the memories of old sages. That's what we call our druids. They say touching them with your bare hands can lead to madness, though I couldn't tell you if there's any truth to that. But what I do know is they are very useful if you want to make special armor. Walk with certainty.
Vigdis? What does she have to do with this? Does that old man really believe her ramblings are the will of the giants? Unbelievable. I won't say what I really think about this. If the Master of the Brotherhood believes it, who am I to argue? Because I'm protecting her from prying eyes and the superstitions of villagers, that's why. I don't know you. Why would I speak of my wife, accused of madness, to a stranger? For any Dalrita, losing one's mind is like a living death, a shame worse than most can bear, but I love her too much to grant her a good death. If Darvan believes she hasn't gone mad, but instead serves as a bridge between the Ulfr and the giants, then I'll gladly let you speak with her. You'll find her in the locked room. Here's the key.
Speak quickly. I don't like wasting time. Ah, I imagine not. If I were some magical fellow and died only to become a Frostgrot, I wouldn't be happy either. Thanks for this. It seems my project's tougher than I thought. I only hope what it needs is more ingredients, not more skill. I'm a Stone Warden. My Ford song ought to be strong enough to handle this, but still, something's off, like I'm missing a piece. I'm thinking the brain of an ice weaver. If I can balance fire, magic, and frost, maybe then the armor will finally do what it's meant to do. But enough talk. We'll see how it goes. If you come across an Ice Weaver, I'll gladly take its brain off your hands. Walk with certainty.
so beautiful. So full of talent. I really understand why Self decided that your life should take a turn.
Yes, you're quite appetizing. But you're not here for compliments. Who are we, dear Sympathy?
Who are we, dear Trickster?
No one's special. Bit like you, guest.
Don't say that. We have meaning, after all. Once, we were crows. My companion walked the path of self. I followed the path of war. I thought I was destined to serve as a priest in the name of Barb.
Plans change.
Plans do change, indeed.
Incredible. You won't see Self in action. No one ever does. Self is that good.
Stop it. I'm getting jealous. The High Priest of Bard, one of the most distinguished to ever hold the title. He taught me many things, including that a child of Morrigan can exist without a body. Thanks to his teachings, Trickster and I were able to survive.
You give him far too much credit. We botched the task entrusted to us.
But we also showed creativity. We transferred our essence to this place.
Morrigan decided we were quite the spectacle. She allowed us to continue existing, but only here.
Without a physical, tangible form. We observed the outside world through the many pairs of crow eyes it offers us.
In the House of Madness.
Stop saying such nonsense, Trickster. This is a place, dear fledgling, that was once home to Morrigan herself. She let in a little light and allowed us to dwell here. Since then, we've taken to hosting talented fledglings, all Morrigan's favorites. Those who, for some reason, were meant to find their way into the void.
Favorites? Makes you wonder why war hasn't visited us in so long. You'll shed unnecessary baggage.
A bond that needs to be severed.
In other words, you'll butcher someone. Or be the butchered one.
Don't worry. I think you'll manage. Luth is probably eager to meet you too. He's surely full of pride.
Yes. Perhaps we shouldn't keep those birds waiting. We've kept him here quite long enough. He might be getting bored.
Only if our guest has no more questions.
Did you know that young cuckoos sometimes push other chicks out of the nest? For a moment, you'll become just like that cuckoo.
This will help you grow up a little. Oh dear. I think even Luth would be disappointed. He was expecting an exciting fight.
Me too.
Yes, a fight.
Finally, something interesting.
I'll keep my wings crossed.
Since the moment you completed your first task, I had a feeling we might cross paths here. You're a remarkably talented child. Shame your journey might end here. Or shame I won't be around to see where it takes you. You're a fledgling now, just like me. Sometimes, the children of Morrigan pit fledglings against one another to thin the ranks of the crows, especially when someone rises to the hierarchy so quickly. Yes, as I said before, I've heard it happens from time to time. Rarely, but it makes perfect sense. The crows are an elite, tight-knit circle. To make sure that only the best join the ranks, they're testing out 2 talented fledglings. Fate loves mocking us, doesn't it? Just like the crows, we must be quite the entertainment for them. Ah, Sympathy and Trickster. What a charming couple. As far as I know, they used to be truly exceptional crows. But one of the missions turned out to be far more dangerous than they anticipated. And no, I'm not going to tell you what it was. Still, it seems like they're having plenty of fun in the current state, doesn't it? I don't feel like a prisoner, and neither should you. The truth is, I wouldn't have had much of a choice. But I didn't need one. I would have agreed to all of this, no matter the circumstances. You've always been eager to work. I respect that. I have just one request. Give it everything you've got, buddy. Let's keep this clean and quick. We both know how this ends.
Where's the man who stayed? Where's the one who watched over me? Where's the man who stayed? Where's the one who watched over me?
Please, no! I've done nothing wrong. I beg you, don't kill me! You must go soon. More beholders may be on their way. I'm Avar, though it's been a long time since I've spoken that name aloud. So it was him. I wondered if the man I saw was really Erland. He's grown gaunt. When I was just a boy, he cast me out. He said I was too frail, and he feared I'd bring weakness to the Ulfr. An omen made flesh. That's all I was to him. Can't say for sure, but I've lived among them for years. I guess they see me as the same kind of aberration my tribe did, only they view me with curiosity, not fear or violence. When Erland cast me out, I was still a child. Weak. I didn't get far. I crawled into the first hole I could find to escape the blizzard. It turned out it led to a whole network of caves. The beholders found me and they fed me, just like that. So I stayed. The tribe told stories, said they were terrifying living war machines, marked by the weirdness and shaped by the foredwellers. But I don't think they were always like that. They're intelligent, they communicate with one another, and once I saw one that looked like it was crying. That day, the beholders led me to an exit, urged me to go outside. It was the first time in years I'd set foot on the surface. After some time, I saw Erland looking for something in the snow. I stared at him for so long, until he noticed me and fled. I went back into hiding too. It's not that simple. The entrance to the cave only reveals itself when the beholders allow it. Otherwise, all you'll see is bare rock. I think that they let you in because they thought you were Erland. They must have felt what I carry for that man and wanted to do something for me. And kill him. Yes, but truth be told, I never really needed to leave. The beholders brought me food, and I had access to fresh water. As strange as it might sound. Please, just go. I don't want any more bloodshed. The beholders you encountered, that wasn't all of them. More could be coming soon. I truly hoped this would end differently, but I won't be slaughtered like some helpless dog.
The curse is broken, then why do I feel the pull?
Who goes there? Is it you, Fusca? I'm Olaf, senior journeyman of the Stone Warden's Brotherhood. It's rare I meet anyone from outside the tribes. I've never set foot beyond the Forlorn Swords, so my knowledge of the wider world is limited. And now, as you can see, I'm here to stay. So tell me, what brings you to us? Or perhaps you prefer I share some wisdom instead? If that's true, then you carry a great burden, and an even greater danger follows you. Perhaps it's for the best that I won't live to see the day you decide to pass through the gate. The old stories about the one who claims the crown are grim. Even among the Stone Wardens, we don't speak of them often. The eldest brothers say that whoever dares claim the crown and steps through the gate will bring calamity upon Avalon. What kind of calamity? No one knows. Or perhaps no one wants to say. That's all I can tell you. I hope they're just old tales. But if not, I hope you return whole. I've grown to like you. It's been ages since I've had such a long conversation. Nothing happened. This is the process of stone sleep. It's my choice. I've chosen to leave this world on my own terms, surrounded by my brothers. The men you see here, frozen in time, are my ken. Each of them embraced the sleep, just as I do now. I know our customs may seem strange to outsiders, but trust me, there's no greater honor for a Stone Warden than to merge with the land we've served. I forget sometimes. Those outside the tribes don't know our ways. It's no secret, so I'll tell you. Stone sleep is how we unite with the land we've worked and protected. It's the highest honor. A chance to become one with the soil that sustained us. We believe it grants a kind of immortality. We are the noblest of orders, forged from the strongest miners and smiths. Our history goes back to the earliest days of the Dal Riata in the Forlorn Swords. We serve the land and its hidden treasures. Only the most skilled and devoted are welcomed among us. There's no room for aimless wanderers. We're born of the land, sustained by it, and in the end, we return to it. That's why we embrace the stone sleep. We've never accepted anyone who isn't Dal Riata. Not in living memory, anyway. Darvan sticks to traditions like moss on stone. So don't hold your breath. That said, the world's changing. Not necessarily for the better, just shifting. Like the ground beneath our feet is moving, and we can't stop it. We used to say, the world will end before we let outsiders into our ranks. Maybe we cursed ourselves with those words. Don't take it personally if Darvan decides to make an exception for you. I trust his judgment. And if he does, the rest of the Brotherhood will fall in line. She's my daughter, a brave young woman who worries about me a great deal. She stops by every now and then to tend to my stone-bound body. A good girl, though if you ask me, she worries far too much. I'm not dying, after all. I'm simply entering the stone sleep. And that's far better than dying.